A lot of people have been asking about engine painting, how we make them look killer. So we got Justin's freshly built 6 litre here. Gaz has just put it together. It's got some hot bits in it. It's all raw here, an LS, and I'm going to show you how to make an LS look sexy. Let's go. So, preparation is key, guys. Take the time, mask it up, don't paint over your plugs and sensors. You're gonna have issues down the line, and if it's not me that's gonna tell you, Gary's gonna cry when he comes to wire up your car and nothing works, right? Don't get any paint in the engine. Make sure your rocker covers, all that sort of stuff sealed, because that's just gonna cause issues as well. Now, luckily with this engine, it hasn't been painted before. I think did it have paint on it or anything? No, so it was a clean engine. It's been disassembled. Gary built this, and he's cleaned the block like meticulously. I reckon I could eat dinner off this, but he's used shellite, thinners, whatever you got. So you don't have to use shellite, you can use some sort of degreaser or Prepsol, but the block has to be spotless. That's key number one. If your block's not spotless, then you may as well just not even do the job, all right? Now, the key to doing this, there's one crucial product that you have to use. It's a non-negotiable. It's called Epitec. It's like a 2K etch primer. We have to hit the engine in that. That's what makes it last. That's why you can get years and years and lots of heat cycles through the engine, and the paint doesn't lift. So what we're just getting ready to do is we're gonna mask the engine up as we're doing. We're gonna lay some Epitec over it. We wanna give the engine about 24 hours. And then after the 24 hours, we're gonna get a soft back sanding pad, sand the engine down, and yeah, we'll lay some colour. So let's get into it. So here's some of the products we're going to be using. We've got some fluorite, Epitec. I'll put a link in the description, or I'll list it somehow so you guys can get your hands on some of this. I picked both of these products up from the body shop at Allenby Gardens, so go down and see the boys, tell them what you're doing. Also, here is some plastic primer, okay? I'm not going to even attempt to say what it's called because I'm going to sound like an idiot. But basically on the intake manifold, we're going to run a coat of that, and then we're going to put the 2K on top. Now, in terms of paint over the top of the Epitec, I'm just going to be using a clear over base colour on this, nothing special, or you can use a 2K direct gloss, whatever your heart desires. Basically, the Epitec's gonna seal it and get that heat-proof coating, as you've seen in these clips here. All right, so we've got our intake manifold here and the cover. So we're just about to clean these up. I've got some plastic cleaner. This is pretty good stuff. It's like I think it's a metho water sort of Prepsol mix. It smells really good, so no doubt that works. And I've also got a bit of just standard Prepsol here, wax and grease remover. So I'll go over that with a rag, change to another clean rag, and then keep going until it's spotless. Let's go. Now the trick is, when you think it's clean, just do it one more time. think the cleaning's done with the plastics. It's not. So once we've gone over it with the prep sole, we're going to go over it with a plastic cleaner just as an extra measure, because obviously plastic is naturally hard for paint to stick to, so we want to give it the best shot, especially in a hot environment like an engine. So let's go. Alright, so the plastic primer, this is how easy it is. You open the tin, get your gun, pour it in. It's a 1K product, so there's no second part, unlike the Epitec. So we're just going to go right ahead now, and we'll spray all the plastics up and leave it over a day if you like. The plastic primer, to be honest with you, it's probably ready to paint over in about 15 minutes, but because we're going to Epitec the engine tonight, we'll leave it, and then tomorrow we'll paint everything all at once. Let's get in. All right, and that's it. That's how easy it is. All the plastic priming is done just like that. So this whole job really depends on the first step, and that's cleaning. So as you can see, the plastic priming was a piece of piss, but you just got to make sure you got no oil or any contaminants on the plastic, and you'll be laughing. So that's it. Engine's in Epitec, all done. The boys did a killer effort of masking it up, cleaning the engine. When you're laying the Epitec on the engines, what you want to do is you don't want to treat it like a high fill primer, all right? Because that's not what it is. You want to get coverage, so make sure that it's not transparent where you can see the metal. So it's fully covered, and that's it. Once it's covered, that's it. You leave it. You don't want to put fucking 5-6 coats on it. There's no point. It's not like a high build primer. Yes, you can sand a little bit out and use it as a primer, but it's a sealer, so you just got to understand that. But the Epitec is generally the reason the engines last. It's so heat resistant, it's beautiful. It's years and years you'll get out of the engine, so it's just beautiful. It keeps them looking like they've just been painted yesterday. So throw out the rattle cans. We're not doing that no more. Let's do things properly. It looks better. Alright, we're filming?
Yes, I'm filming.
No. Alright, so engine's now dry. Got my Orbital sander, some 800 Orbital pads. You could probably get away with 500, or you could do it by hand, doesn't matter. I'm just going to go over some of the flat surfaces of the engine that's going to be visible and rinse them up with the Orbital. Make sure there's no little bits of dirt or dust in it, so we get the best finish we can. Let's go. Make sure it stays in nice focus. Too close. so I just custom mixed 2 different greys. Pretty much all the engine colors I do, I just sort of, with what I've got here, I just mix something up and until it looks about right or I think it might work, and then boom, that's it. Let's get in the booth. Alright, so Sprylock HS clear coat 2-to-1, just your normal clear that we use on the outside of cars is all I use on the engine, so nothing special. Some hardener, nothing special there either. So it's basically just your everyday car paint, your clear of a base we're using, and just mixing it up now. Let's hit it. So the engine's all back together now. Last night, Gary pieced the rest of the parts back together. Put all the coil packs on, injectors, intake manifold, water pump, you name it, it's all on. And Gary's meticulous, so you bet it's all Mickey Mouse, it's all spotless. It looks fantastic. I think Justin will be more than happy with this one. It's going to look killer in his VF Commodore. But yeah, I think with some of these painted engines, when you're doing an EFI setup in an LS with the coil packs on the rocker covers, it does take a little bit away from the paint job. But when you do like a Carby LS or a small block Chev or a small block Ford or big block or something like that with a Carby, it does look it looks spectacular in my opinion. Like, let's have a look at Taylor's car here. Here's his looking Mickey Mouse. Justin's seen Taylor's engine and he said he wanted a very similar color scheme, so that's why they look quite similar. But as you can see, this one's got the APD Carby and the two colors on it. Against the contrast white, it looks fantastic. And yeah, as you can see, without the coil packs on there, it's just way cleaner. But I think this LS here, it's looking 10 times better than factory, so can't complain with that. Especially with the standard water pump pulley and all that sort of stuff. Again, the electric water pumps, they make the whole LS look a lot simpler, but this one with the OEM water pump still looks very nice. New harmonic balancer on there. Fantastic. I'll probably put some clips in now of my VO engine bay. Few engines I've done similar. And maybe one of my F truck, the 302 that went into that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. We just hit 2,000 subscribers also, so can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate it. I'm working on something, a little project. So that's going to be up and coming as well. Something that will help everybody at home that's building cars and stuff. So stay tuned. I reckon we're about 2 weeks away. And I'll let you guys in on what's going on. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe.